Hey everybody, and so today is another Q&A video. I have several questions you have asked this time, and thank you all so much for that. So I'll begin with Mr. Phos, P-H-O-S, if I'm saying it right, and he asked what my favorite part of Clary's temperament is, and least favorite. My favorite would be, as is the nature of probably most any rough collie, that she's a sweet and loving animal. And my least favorite would probably be her sense of fear, where she is afraid of car rides or being away from home in an outdoor area. She does do much better if she's indoors. So thank you, folks, for your questions. And Moonbearing asks if I'm planning on getting any new dogs in the future, and the answer to that is yes. I don't know when for certain. And when I do, it will probably be either a border collie or a rough collie. If not a border collie, as of right now, there aren't really any other breeds that I'm planning on having, but there are more than just those two that I am interested in. And Moonbearing also asks, do you recommend a rough collie for first-time dog owners? And the answer to that is yes, I do. Although rough collies are definitely a energy breed, they're not a super high energy breed like a border collie is, but they're also not a very, very low energy / lazy breed like a basset hound is. I would say that if a person is looking for a dog that they can do things with, or if they like the idea of taking the dog with them wherever they go or all the places that they'll pet friendly, unless of course they plan on having the dog a surface dog, then most anywhere period will allow surface dogs in. So yes, I do recommend rough collies for first time owners. The only type of person I would not recommend a rough collie to would be those who aren't going to really do a whole lot with a dog, in which case I would recommend the lowest of energy breeds. And Moonbearing also asks what their temperaments are like. And the collie's temperament is great. They make great companion dogs, and they will definitely stick with you, and if you live with other people, they can definitely pick a favorite person, but they will be great to everybody in the household. Lorna McKenzie asks if Clary was my first dog and what made me get a rough collie. For the first question, she is my first own dog, but I have been around dogs all of my life because my parents have always had them as far back as in my lifetime that I can remember. They had a mixed breed. I do not know what the breeds were. It certainly was not a collie that my father had picked up from a dog pound named Molly, and after her was a full Cocker Spaniel named Buffy, and then 3 Basset Hounds, and Phoebe was the first one, and she lived at the same time as Buffy, and then after her was the Basset Hound, the second one, and after she passed away, we got our third one, Lucy, who appears in videos sometimes. And what made me get a rough collie was back in Christmas of 2007, when my nephew was living with my parents and my mother got him a few books by Albert Payson Terhune. He bred collies over 100 years ago, and I'm sure was probably born in the late 1800s or the mid 1800s at the very latest, and he wrote fictional books based on his actual rough collies, and that's what got me interested in them. And then I began to research the subject matter on my own online and began to think that having a collie would be great. And after a while, I mentioned this to my mother, and she told me that a lady we knew, we've been known for 20 years, to homeschooling, actually bred rough collies. And then a little over a year later, I had Clary on June 18th of 2019. Next is Creative Kane, who asks for tips and trainings or fun things to know specifically about rough collies, since he's getting one as a puppy in 2 months. When I got Clary, she was a great puppy. She was very easy with house training and preventing accidents in the house. While any puppy is definitely going to do that. With Clary, I got her at 6 weeks old, and that's because the breeder knew me. I've known her for 20 years about. So Clary had to go outside about every 20 minutes for a while after I first got her, and so long as I did that, she pretty much stayed accident-free in the house. And for training, I highly recommend positive reinforcement training. You can search for Zach George's Dog Training Revolution. He is a great dog trainer, former disc dog champion, and has tons of videos about positive reinforcement training. You have to be very persistent with that for a long time, and it's also good to socialize your dog, which is taking it in a variety of different locations so it gets accustomed to being at home as well as locations outside of home around various people, to help to prevent seeing people as something new and novel, and not have a extremely excited greeting every time it sees somebody. And to conclude, I have 3 questions from Peter Harper. The first one is, if we took Clary for a walk, where's your favorite place to stop for a drink? I don't really know. I don't really go to somewhere just for something like a milkshake or a slushie. So probably it would just be somewhere where Clary could get some water if we were gone long enough to where she would need it, or high heat. And the second question is, what's Clary's favorite game to play for amusement? That would most certainly be fetch, and she just likes to have a hold of one end of the rope while I have the other end, and shaking it. She does a lot of playgrounding in that and loves it. And the last question is, when it's near Christmas time this year, would Clary like to have an activity night and a video? There will definitely be at least one or more Christmas related videos. She will definitely be having Christmas presents as she has her previous Christmases, and I will definitely be recording that and posting it. So that concludes this Q&A. I'll definitely do another one sometime in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye bye.